So welcome back to JJ's Lifted Horizons. I'm JJ, and today we're going to work on a project that I've been waiting for. We're going to be going on Kevin's truck, Areola, and we're going to be changing out the fuel filters. He gave me this box, and I did tell him that we needed to get a fuel filter set. So let's make sure that, first of all, we have the right fuel filters. And thank you, Ryan, for the snap-on screwdriver. I'm going to be keeping this forever. And let's see here. So this is going to be your secondary fuel filter. This one goes underneath the hood of the truck. And then we have your gasket. That's for the primary fuel filter. And then you have your primary fuel filter. And we're not going to worry about that. Now on the GM products, it's super easy to install your own fuel filter. Ford wants to make it super complicated, but after all the YouTube things that I've watched on how to replace this yourself, what could go wrong? Kevin is putting his life in my hands. So how smart is Kevin? Not very. So yeah, this is all we need. This part here for underneath the hood, this part goes underneath the truck, and this goes onto the other part. So we're gonna leave this here for now, but we're gonna climb underneath the truck, and all we need really is an 8mm to remove the bolts on the fuel filter housing. And then this right here to capture all of the water and fuel that comes out when we drain the fuels or the water separator. So let's go underneath the truck, and we'll just get started after I drink some coffee. And always make the campsite cleaner than you found it. All right, so the first thing that you need to do is drain your water from your water separator, and that's what this part is here. You should be doing this every month, Kevin, so we'll see how much water and fuel comes out.
Well, I can say I've never done that. A lot.
Now this isn't going to drain the fuel out of your tank. Some people have said that that's what happens when you do this, but that's not what happens. While that is doing that, we can remove this. And there's a little tab in here. And now we're going to set this off to the side. Now we just basically have to wait for that to drain. I'm gonna grab my gloves real quick, because now we're gonna get dirty. There we go. We're gonna call that good. So we're gonna close this back up. Now we're gonna take our 8mm. Now there's 5 bolts. There's 3 on this side and 2 on the other side, and these will not come out.
They're retained?
They're retained. we go.
So that just drops straight out?
Drop straight down. Now, one thing that I like to do when I change out my fuel filter is I want to pull it out over the pan because there's still fuel in here. But I want to show you right on the filter, it shows you with an arrow exactly what direction that you need to go to remove it.
See that?
And I'm not looking at the arrows, so I can't tell you what way is what. So install goes to the right and removal goes to the left. So okay, let's take this out.
Good call.
And let's go back to our workstation, aka picnic table. Okay, one thing that I want to show you inside here is that there's these two pins right here. And that electrical connection that was underneath the truck goes to these two pins. Now, when there's too much water in this filter housing, it'll actually short out these two pins, and then this whole thing needs to be replaced. So the reason why that you want to drain your fuel every month is so that you don't get so much water that it shorts this out, and then you need to get that replaced. So it's just a nice little helpful hint. Now, the other thing I'm going to look inside this housing is I'm going to look for any sort of metal flakes to see if there's any sort of damage to your motor, and I'm not really seeing anything, so that is good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some brake clean, I'm going to clean this out, and then I'm going to dry it out, and then we're going to put on the new fuel filter. And you know, you don't need to use too much brake clean, just enough.
Move your coffee cups out of the way.
Yeah. We don't want brake clean in our coffee. You know, just enough. So now we're just gonna take, I mean, you can get shop towels. I'm cheap. I just use any towel that I can get from Dollar Tree. Or is it $1.25 Tree? Just dry it out. I mean, brake clean dries really quickly anyway, but this will get rid of any particles or anything that are in there. There's no need to have any unnecessary particles in your fuel filter housing. And then the other thing that you're going to do is going to remove the old gasket.
Use your friend's snap-on screwdriver for that. Or not.
Simple as that. And the snap-on screwdriver is actually over next to the truck. But if you wanted to, you could use the screwdriver. You just want to push this into place. It'll actually seal up better when you get in there. But as long as you have it in the housing, and that was another reason why it was having a difficult time coming out. Number one is because of the filter, and number two is because you have that bond between the gasket and the housing on the truck itself. Now, again, the fuel filter has the instructions with the arrows. Install, go to the right. Remove, go to the left. Okay, so we're going to put it on here like so. And then it's locked into place. Now, it is going to, you know, it is a little wobbly, but that's okay. It is in place. So now we can go and put this back in underneath the truck. I always like to say, it's so easy, even Kevin can do it. So now all we need to do is push this back up. And as long as your bolts are lined up here, we can start cinching these down. Now putting them back in should be easier than taking them out, right? That's the thought process here.
It's never the case.
No, God, no.
It's almost as easy as working on a drone.
Almost. Now, if you're down in Florida doing this yourself when it's 900 degrees outside, it'll probably be better because at least you have shade, right?
Well, you're under the truck, so you got shade anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, look, a lawnmower.
Now, we're just going to tighten these bolts down. I don't know the spec as far as torque goes.
I know the decibel is pretty high. See?
As long as it sounds like you're clanking. So I'm going to get this one tight, and then I'm going to go around and tighten down the rest. You don't want to tighten it too much because this is plastic. And what happens when you tighten down plastic too much? It cracks. So get it tight, but don't over tighten it. All right, now let's take our electrical connection so that you don't get a check engine light. Okay, now let's go and cycle the key and make sure we don't have any. I've taken the camera away from my cameraman. He's gonna cycle the key, and you're gonna do it 6 times for 10 seconds each. That's 1. And we're gonna look underneath, make sure we don't have anything leaking. That's 2. What's that?
I can hear it pumping some fuel.
Yep.
3.
Okay, so Kevin asked for the reason why we do it 6 times, and I can tell you just from listening to it that you have to do it 6 times for it to actually fill up that housing with fuel, because as it was filling up, you could hear the fuel actually filling up to the top of the fuel filter. So if you're asking that very question, I think that is the reason why. I don't have any X-ray equipment, but I do have, my ears. And sometimes I can't hear, like when Kevin asked me to do something for him. But in this case, I could hear the fuel actually filling up to the top of the filter. So the other thing that we have to do is going to be underneath the hood. And you said that you have a step ladder?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to need a step ladder, and we're going to have to open up the hood. Okay, so your fuel filter, your secondary fuel filter is... it's hidden.
I thought it was over here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right there. So, yeah, I'm a little too short.
Okay.
This is your secondary fuel filter, and there's 3 hoses that this is your supply, this is your return, And then this is a little green thingy I don't know. So it's got these clips. Now this one has got 2 stages. So I do believe that you have to do this one first.
You believe?
I do believe.
Oh Lord.
I am an ASC certified mechanic, Kevin.
I understand that.
Don't, you know, are you making fun of me?
Never.
All right, so we've got that clip out. And I'm gonna put this underneath here because it's gonna drip diesel. And we don't want Areola to have diesel in her motor.
No, we do not. 1 for 3, or 1 of 3.
And the other thing too is make sure the clips stay out, because they do like to lock themselves back into place. Now this one here, there's 2 behind, and it's hard to get with the camera, but you have to push the 2 together and then push up.
And you can do this one with your fingers? Or do you need the screwdriver as well?
I'm trying to get the screwdriver. Good job, Ford.
That's why they charge $300.
Right, it's for these clips. There we go. There's 2.
How's your back?
Doing just fine. And then this one, this one was the easy one.
Looks like it.
Okay.
What a nightmare.
And that's it. Now for this one, you just basically twist it and lift out.
Just kind of wiggle it back and forth.
Yep.
It must be a left-handed filter.
It must be.
Well, maybe.
There we go.
Right-handed.
Now let me show you why it does that. There's this little protrusion here, and that is what keeps that from coming out. There's about $500 worth of diesel in there, so.
And that's pre-COVID.
Now there is no prep for this fuel filter other than removing this cap. So now, when we put this in here, we want to make sure that we put it in the right way. And then, if you see right here, that looks like where that little tabby would go, or back there. So I'm gonna try and line it up. And these hoses are not easy to work around because they're pretty solid. There we go. And it just drops down like that. Let me grab this out of here. Oh, I just clicked that back in. That's why I say you want to be careful that. There we go. There we go. That's one. That's two. And that's three. Now we do the same process that we did for the filter underneath the truck. 6 times. Okay, is that 6?
5.
Okay, one more time.
Rush me. Last one.
Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to fire it up.
Still counting to 10.
Okay.
8, 9, 10. All right, so fire it up.
Fire it up.
Should we pray first?
I mean, it's your truck.
All right, prayers. Amen.
No leaks underneath the hood. No leaks underneath the truck. Have you hold this. And that's all there is to it. We changed out the fuel filter. Now he is ready to go for whenever he needs to change out his next fuel filter. I suggest doing it every oil change, but some people do it every other oil change. It's all up to you on how often you want to change them, but the more you change them, the better off your truck is going to feel, because she's always going to have fresh diesel coming through her. So that's up to you. But I want to thank Kevin for being crazy enough to trust me with his F-350, and I want to thank all of you for watching, because I'm a moron. And if I can do it, any of you can do it. And remember, every road leads to a new story. Keep writing yours. Just don't make it a tragedy like Kevin probably could have had. So we'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.